DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com, balloverseas.com. For those of y'all who are guards, I'm talking about on the basketball court. You're a guard. What you need to understand, what I want to talk about in this vid, is that you are in the American guards. You are in the toughest position of anyone trying to get a gig overseas. Now, some of y'all might already, maybe you've already experienced this, maybe you kind of already understand it, but I want to put some context to it. The thing about playing ball overseas as an American player, you got to understand that you are one of thousands, with an S on the end, thousands of players who believe they can play overseas and are even doing things to try to get a job overseas, meaning you're trying to reach out to teams, or you're trying to find an agent, or you're looking at exposure camps and things like that you can go to. You're looking up, watching videos like this one. I mean, whatever number of views this video got, I don't care if it got 10 views or 10 million views, each one of those views is somebody else who's trying to get a job overseas that could be your job. So all of that's your competition. You just look up every video about overseas ball on YouTube, you see how many views they all got, add them all together, all of those people are your competition. All right, you compete against all those people. I don't care if the video only got 200 views. All right, what if you was trying to compete with 200 people for one job? All right, you feel confident about that? All right, so you're in an uphill battle no matter what. And as a guard, I mean, we just understand the natural distribution of height. You know that the taller the height is, the fewer the people there are, right? There are fewer 7-footers than there are 6-footers. So if you're 6 feet tall, there's a whole lot of people. There's this many people, who are competing with you for a job. If you're 6'3", all right, it's about this many people. This is still a lot. If you're 6'7", it's about this many. 6'9", this many. 7 feet, this many. It's still some. But it gets smaller and smaller the taller that you get. So those of y'all who are guards, and I would say a guard, I mean, there are people 6'9" say that they guards, but if you're, let's say, 6'4" and under, I'm 6'4". So if you're 6'4" or shorter, you basically in competition with every other person who thinks they can play ball overseas, and there's so many of them. And I'm giving you this information to tell you the action tip that I want to give you here is that you really, really got to be on your hustle. You really got to be on your grind. You really got to be on point. You want to get a gig overseas, which means you need to be focusing on getting yourself seen, heard, and known, meaning whether that means connecting with an agent, whether that means going to some type of, if you're going to do like an overseas tour or something like that, because that's a way to get seen. Some people get gigs off that. Not everybody does, but some people have gotten gigs off that. Connecting with an agent, some people can, reach out to an agent and find an agent who'll represent you and they help you get your deal. I got my first deal because I reached out to an agent cold, sent them my footage, and then that agent signed me, and then that agent got me my first contract. So that could happen to you. You can reach out to a team. I don't know if reaching out to teams directly even works anymore, but I'm not going to tell you can't do it. You might as well try it, because the worst case scenario is nothing happens and you didn't lose anything. I've reached out to teams cold and got deals off that. I got deals every possible way you can get a deal. I got a deal. So you could try every different way. But again, I did mine before y'all. I don't play ball anymore. I stopped playing ball in 2015. So what worked then in my time may not work in your time, but you could at least try it, because you never know. Maybe it's not a lot of people trying it. Maybe you'll get lucky and you'll hit that right person at the right time and it works out for you. But you got to get your foot in the door somehow, some way, because you're in so much competition as a guard. You can't just sit around and say, well, somebody need to call my phone. Somebody need to hit my inbox. Somebody needs to find my profile. Somebody needs to find my highlight video. You can't just sit around and wait for the deal. Maybe it'll happen if you sit around and wait for it. But I mean, y'all know all the sayings about going out and hustling and doing something. Like, you can't sit around and wait for things to happen. You got to be willing to go out and be on your hustle and make things happen, especially as a guard out here trying to play ball professionally. When, listen, it's how many teams in college basketball? D1 college basketball alone is 300 something teams, right? So think about how many guards on each one of those rosters. Let's say it's 5 guards on every team, and every year, let's say 2 or 3, let's say 2 guards from every team every year are done with their eligibility. So let's say 300 teams is more than 300 teams. Let's say 300 times 2 guards on every team. That's 600 guards. And let's say 200 of them have a somewhat reasonable chance of trying out for the league, whether that means because they got an agent who signed them, the NBA is looking at them for whatever reason, they played at a high major D1 or at least a mid-major D1 team, something like that. They got invited to a G League summer camp, something like that, they got some reasonable chance to play in the league. The other 400 guards, all of them are looking to cross the water to go play overseas. All of them. You're competing with them. You might be one of them that I'm talking about right now. You came out of a D2 or a D3 or a JUCO or an NAIA, or you didn't even finish school this year, but you just been trying to get on overseas for a year or years, plural. You competing against all these people every single year. And I'm not telling you that to discourage you. I'm telling you that to hopefully inspire, motivate you to really get on your grind and get on your hustle, because all these other people are trying to get these gigs, and with so many guards out there, teams overseas, it makes it a buyer's market. I put this on the back cover of my book, The Overseas Basketball Blueprint. The overseas basketball is a buyer's market. For those of y'all who don't know what that is, I'll probably make a separate video on this subject by itself. It means there are more people trying to get a job than there are available jobs, which means you sometimes, even though you might think you're better than taking a deal for 1,000 euros a month, you might need to take that deal for 1,000 euros a month, because if you don't take that one, all right, you might end up with a deal for 0 euros a month, and what that means is no deal at all. All right, you better off making 1,000 than making none. All right, you agree? I think so. I mean, again, if you want to play overseas. I talked about this in the last video where I said, is overseas basketball even worth it? If it's worth it for you, you might need to take that deal, because you might not get a better opportunity. And again, if you're good, you might take a deal at 1,000 and you can outplay your contract. So then your next deal will be worth more than that, and the next one worth more than that, and the next one more than that, until you get to whatever your level, quote unquote, is going to be. So this is something that I just want to put that in your ear, and I want to make sure that I put this on record and everybody knows it, so that nobody's like, oh, Dre, you never said that, or nobody ever told me. I just want to make sure I put everything out there. So for those of y'all who don't know me, you know, I like to give people full context on stuff. I want to give you all the information so that you're not like, damn, nobody ever said nothing about that, or this is something that I found out when I got there, but nobody put the information out there. So I know it's other people who here and there are making a little bit of content talking about overseas, but they basically regurgitating the shit that I said 8 years ago. But I'm making sure that I'm putting all the updated, and everything you need to know will be covered by me. So if you are only seeing my stuff about overseas ball, whether that be my articles, my books, and these videos, guaranteed, and my podcast, guaranteed I will have covered everything that you need to know. Everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. And if there are experts out there like coaches, players, agents, people who run academies who are out there doing it, who are in the game 10 toes deep, and they know stuff, I'm gonna make sure I connect with them, and I'm gonna interview them, and I'm gonna ask them all the questions that you would ask them to make sure you got all the information. So I will be your 100% resource on this subject. If you didn't know that already, I'm already that resource, but if you are just now being introduced to me, know that I am that resource. So all that being said, I have a book called The Overseas Basketball Blueprint. I'm not charging you for the book. I'm giving you the book free. Yes, free 99. That's free with an F, not $3.99, free 99. All you gotta do is pay a shipping and handling charge, because it costs us money to print the book. You go to balloverseas.com. The link is down below wherever you're watching this video. Go down below. It is Ball Overseas, and if the link's not there, if I forgot to put the link is balloverseas.com. All right, you know how to spell ball, B-A-L-L, overseas. You know how to write overseas, because you probably typed in overseas to find this video, right? Balloverseas.com. It's called The Overseas Basketball Blueprint. The book is free. You are not paying for the book. I will ship you the book worldwide, wherever you are. The reason why I'm giving you the book for free is because I want to inform you players about what to do. I remember when I was trying to get on overseas, man, I would have got the book. I wish somebody had wrote a book to tell me the stuff that I need to know, so I didn't have to go through all the trial and error of trying to get a deal. I had to go through a lot of trial and error because I didn't know what was going on. So I went through a lot of error with information that did not exist. But now I went through the trial and error, so you don't have to do that. I put this book out, and that's why I'm putting it out for free, so you just have the information. And then when you get on and get a deal overseas, all you got to just shout me out. That's all I need you to do. When you get on overseas, wherever you go to Italy, you go to Spain, you go to Portugal, you go to Japan, just go to a nice place with a nice view in the background, make a little video and say, Dre, thank you for putting out the Overseas Basketball Blueprint. That's all I need. That's all I want. That's all I need you to do. All right, just make a little video in a nice location wherever you go sign overseas. So I'm like, yo, I had an impact on somebody that went to Japan, Australia, China, Spain. Y'all get what I'm saying. Work on your game. Balloverseas.com. My name's Dre all day. If you didn't know, now you know. Work on your game.